Hello students, Wendy Ansley here, kinesiology professor at College of the Desert. I look forward to sharing with you today a well-rounded sequence, cultivating perseverance. And as always, we have our mat, I have 2 blocks, and I have a strap. And I want you to know, as I created this sequence, I always do these homemade sequences with you in mind. And I think of safety, and I think of our theme, and today is perseverance, which is a wonderful quality to have. It's a wonderful quality to remind yourself of, and to do your best each day. We're going to start with a strap, and we're going to kind of fold it in half. We're all connected, and at first I want to take my strap and make it a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, so I fold the strap in half. A little bit wider than shoulder width apart. I always activate the arches in my feet, Pada Bandha, active legs. And I simply take the strap back and forth, and maybe even connect it with my breath. I inhale, draw the strap up. Exhale, bring the strap back. And I continue this several times, awakening my shoulder girdle, opening my chest and my heart, connecting and preparing for our practice. Beautiful. Inhale, and I like to take the strap back here and hold it. It's about level with my scapula here. And I simply then draw the strap, if you can see, draw the strap towards me. And then I exhale, and the shoulder blades come towards one another. Beautiful. Draw the strap away. Press the shoulder blades towards one another several more times. Beautiful. And I'm really awakening. Shoulder blades move away. Shoulder blades towards one another. Let's just hold the strap here with the shoulder blades towards one another. There's a pose, several poses later in the practice, and I want to have the shoulders ready. And gently release one more time. And then draw the shoulder blades towards one another and bring the strap around. Sometimes I like to put my thumb in the index ring here, so I'm mirroring you, so it's going to be your left arm here. As we draw that left arm up, a Gomukhasana arms, and draw the left fingertips down the spine here. Beautiful. And then I take the right thumb and I rotate it internally, and I almost draw the left arm down my back. I'm preparing for my practice. And then draw the bottom arm up. Beautiful. Gently release. And adjust the strap. So now I have my thumb in the right side here. Draw the arm up, bring it down, the fingers down the spine, and then take the left arm, rotate the thumb up, grab a hold of the strap or the fingers, and pull the top arm down. Several breaths, just awakening for our practice. And then draw that bottom arm up. Gently release. Beautiful. Setting the strap to the sides. Still, we're going to connect with our breath and our movement. We'll start off with beautiful sun salutation A. Rooting through the 4 corners of the feet, active legs. Inhale, draw those arms up, energy out the fingertips. Exhale, come into a dynamic forward fold, heel and toe. Inhale, halfway lift, either hands to the shins, the thighs, or to the ground. Gaze forward and down. Framing the feet with the hands, we're going to step those legs back, come into Phalakasana. Root through the palms, round the upper back a little bit. Belly button to the spine, active legs will stay here. Several breaths, core awakening. Gently lower to the knees. We'll do knees, chest, and chin all at the ground at the same time. The best that you can do, you can draw the elbows close to the sides, tailbone out and back, Ashtanga Pranam. Beautiful posture. Connect to the breath. On the exhale, send those legs back. Easy cobra. Press to the tops of the feet. And all we're doing is awakening the lower back. Shoulders in line with those elbows. Elbows close to the sides. Gaze forward and down. On the exhale, lead with those hips, tabletop. Transition to Adho Mukha, down dog. Stay here several breaths. Tailbone back and down, pubis bone back and up. Beautiful. Feet are a little wider than hip width apart. Press through those palms. Length in the spine. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Transition, we're going to walk the feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift, either to the shins, the thighs, or the ground. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe into those hamstrings, come more to the midfoot. Stay here several breaths. Gently bend the knees. Inhale, swan dive up. Open the chest, open the heart. Exhale, heart centered. Inhale, draw those arms up. Again, energy out the fingertips. Exhale, forward fold. We're a little bit more awake. Inhale, halfway lift. Framing the feet, step back into Phalakasana here. Core awakening, belly button to the spine. Dome the upper back, gaze forward and down. Active legs, active core. Lower to the knees. We'll do knees, chest, and chin all at the ground at the same time. Tailbone out and back. Elbows close to the sides. Gently send those legs back. Prepare for easy cobra. Inhale, press to the tops of the feet. Simply breathe into that lower back. Transition back to tabletop. I always bring my hands forward a few more inches as I come into down dog. Press through those palms. Feet again are hip width or a little bit wider apart. Take those inner thighs, spiral them back, and breathe into any stiffness, any pain. Transition, walk it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Draw the sternum and chest close to the shins. Connect to the breath. Release those hamstrings. Inhale, swan dive up. Open the chest. Open the heart. Exhale, heart centered. Rooting through the ground. Inhale, draw those arms up. Energy out the fingertips. Exhale, come into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Framing the feet, step back into Phalakasana here. Core awakening. Active legs, active core, active shoulders. Gently lower knee, chest, chest and chin all at the ground at the same time. The hands are right kind of by the chest, elbows close to the sides, and draw the shoulder blades down the back ribs. Root into the ground with the knees, the chest, and the chin, awakening the back side of the body. On the exhale, shift those legs back. Inhale, easy cobra. Stay here several breath cycles. Transition to all fours. Those hands forward a few inches. Lead with those hips. Come into down dog. Walk the feet together in down dog. For this transition, we're going to lift the left leg to about hip level. Rotate that left hip inward. Draw the left knee to the chest, to the nose. Left foot next to the left hand. Come up vertically. Let's bring those palms together. I like to take the thumb and index and come into beautiful low lunge. Press to the top of the back foot. Draw length in the spine. Inhale, exhale through the nose, calm the mind. Gently release. Frame the foot. Runner's pose. Come onto the fingertips of the right hand. I want you to draw that left arm up. Rotate that right pinky inward. Open the upper and middle part of the back. We'll stay here several breaths. Gently frame the foot. Come into down dog. Walk the feet together. Lift that right leg to about hip level. Rotate that right pinky inward just a bit. Have that back leg square the hips. Draw the right knee to the chest, to the nose. Place the right foot next to the right hand. Lower the left knee to the ground. Let's take that thumb and index finger together. Inhale, beautiful low crescent lunge. Lengthen the spine, breathe into the back hips, draw the shoulder blades down the back. Continue to create length in the spine. Beautiful low lunge. It really prepares us for the practice. Observe the breath. Beautiful. Frame the foot. Runner's pose, so we connect with that back leg. The back muscle comes to the bone. Come onto the left fingertips and draw that right arm up towards the ceiling. Rotate that left pinky inward. Beautiful. Prepare our entire body for this practice. Gently lower the hand, frame the foot. Transition back to down dog. And in down dog here, let's feet are hip width apart. Let's bend the knees and draw the chest close to the thighs. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Now let's straighten those legs. Come back to a regular down dog. Firm those thighs. Let's walk the hands and the feet towards one another at the same time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Take the tops of the hands and I want you to press them into the ground as we kind of rock side to side, preparing our wrists for our practice, putting weight into the wrists. Now the fingers come towards one another and we rock side to side. And now the fingers move away from one another and we rock side to side. Gently bend the knees. Swan dive up. Exhale, heart-centered. Shake out those wrists a bit for our practice. As we come to the center of the mat, we'll fold our hands, heart-centered. Let's reflect upon what perseverance is. Perseverance is often staying steady and strong and exhibiting an effort when something is tough, right? And we know that life is extremely challenging. And we know that sometimes it's difficult to persevere and get that college degree, that certificate. Whatever goal that we're working for in life, and things that often are meaningful require this hard work and perseverance. And we know that sometimes paths change and we have to explore different doors. Yoga has taught me so much about perseverance. I couldn't just get on my mat and do these postures. I had to persevere. I had to work. I had to believe in myself. I had to exhibit that effort. But it's also given me so much in my life. I want you to close your eyes, lower your head to your fingertips. I want you just to contemplate what perseverance means to you. I want you to know that we're all capable of exhibiting effort and persevering towards our dreams and our goals. Take a moment and reflect on someone who exhibits perseverance, someone that motivates you, someone that might believe in you. Gently look up. Beautiful. Hands come to the chest, elbows up. Add a little hop or step it out wide. Press outer edges of the feet. Awaken those arches. Root onto those big toe mounds. Draw those elbows back, hands on the hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come forward. Hands come under the shoulders and we gaze forward. We continue to rotate those big toes in. Awaken those arches. You're going to take that right leg, that right foot, and kind of quarter turn it a little bit and adjust those hands. And you're rocking forward and back in a Skandasana prep here, forward and back. So at first I'm kind of awakening those adductors. And now I'm going to try to get that heel towards the ground and come into Skandasana. Length in the spine, doing the best that we can. If the hands need to stay to the ground, that's okay. Drawing the heel of that extended leg and those toes up. Adding some hip mobility and an internal rotation here. We're going to take this right leg and we're kind of rotating it down, rotating that right hip inward. And then we're going to come back up to Skandasana. Now we're going to try to get up without using the hands and knees. Inhale, root and rise. Cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale. Hands by the lower back. Look up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come forward. Hands under the shoulders. Quarter turn this left foot and rock it forward and back. Eventually, can we extend that leg? And so now we're breathing more into those hamstrings. Rooting that elbow inside the knee here, lengthen the spine. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Now, taking that left knee, pressing it to the ground, drawing that left hip inward, coming back up. Trying to root and rise without the hands and the knees. Come back to 5-point star. Rotate those big toes in, press outer edges of the feet. Cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale. Clasp those hands behind, and I want you to draw the shoulder blades towards one another. Open the chest, open the heart. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come forward. And this is where we think about drawing the hands even closer to the ground. If you're really flexible, you might draw the feet another inch or two closer. That's sometimes what I do because I'm very flexible. Trying to get my hands close to the ground, breathing into those hamstrings, breathing into the inner groins. We'll stay here several breaths. On the transition, belly button to the spine, back is flat, root and rise. Cleansing breath. Adjusting that right foot, rotating that back foot inward. So I'm always kind of mirroring you. This is your right, because we're mirroring each other. The front hip comes back and the back hip comes up. Okay, an extended triangle. We want to keep the body in one plane. Extend the arms from the center of the chest. Inhale, create length. I reach towards that wall. Exhale to the shin for the majority of us. Keep the body in one plane. I'm a little bit more flexible, so I continue to draw the hand outside the right foot. Top ribs back, bottom ribs forward. Stay here several more breath cycles. On the transition, inhale, root and rise. Take the left hand outside of the right hip and draw that right arm up, reverse triangle. Several more breath cycles. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Adjust. 5-point star. Turning that left foot, pointing 90 degrees. Rotate that back foot in about 15. Make sure this knee is kind of rotated up. Hands to the hips. Feel that left hip come back and that right hip up. It's all about how we transition in and out of that posture too. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach towards the wall, hand to the shin. Keep the body in one plane. Eventually, we come a little bit lower. Top ribs back, bottom ribs forward. Breathe into that back hip. Inhale, root and rise. Try the reverse triangle, right hand to the left hip. Draw that left arm up and draw that left hip up just a bit, opening that side body. Gently release. 5-point star, cleansing breath. Heel toe. coming into a little hip mobility. Let me adjust my mat here. Arms up about shoulder width apart. Let's keep our ankles, knees, and shins together. We're going to try to keep the heels on the ground in this form of Malasana. On the exhale, I'm lowering, my heels are to the ground. Once my heels pick up, that's where I may stop. I can go a little bit lower, a little bit lower. I'm strengthening my shins. I'm strengthening my arches. We're going to stay here several breaths. This is hip mobility as well. And now I'm going to lower my glutes to the ground. And I'm coming into Dandasana where I sit nice and tall. This is our peak posture today. One of them, Purvottanasana, incline plank. And I love it because we stretch and we strengthen our shoulders in the front part, a little bit different than the planks. And it's really, really a challenging posture. A lot of core strength as well. So there's so many benefits to this pose. And it really resembles perseverance to me. So we're going to walk those hands back about 6 inches. And now I'm going to draw my heels towards me. And we're coming into a reverse tabletop. I want you to take the feet about hip width apart. Rotate those big toes in. So here we are, reverse tabletop. Eventually you kind of relax the head. Many of us are going to stay here. The torso is kind of parallel to the ground of the thighs. And you're going to press to the palms. I'm going to work on extending the legs, rooting under the arches, drawing the shoulder blades towards one another, broadening the collarbone, sacrum towards the knees. Stay here several breaths. Gently release. So good for the shoulder girdle. Come back to Dandasana. Bend those legs. Hip mobility. Try to root and rise without the hands on the ground. Cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale. Perseverance. Sometimes perseverance in my practice means doing the more challenging things I don't want to do, but I know it's so good for me. I'm going to take the block. You have the opportunity to use the block for tree to make it more challenging or not use the block. It's up to you. Rooting through the 4 corners of your right foot. You're going to make sure this femur head is in. You're going to draw that for beginners and you keep the left leg lower, abduct it. Or you can guide it and place it high on the inner thigh. We just don't want to place it directly on the kneecap itself. And now I abduct that left knee, draw that right femur head in. Maybe hands heart-centered. Find my driste. Gaze ahead. Eventually, draw those arms up. We can do shoulders here, shoulders away from the ears. We can do palms together. Level the pelvis. Continue to abduct. Take that bent leg to the side. Root through the 4 corners of the feet. Come out of the tree the same way we got into that tree. Beautiful. Cleansing breath. Inhale. It's definitely challenging rooting onto that block. Another example of perseverance. Perseverance in life, perseverance in exercise. Rooting through the 4 corners of the left leg. You're going to draw either that right leg up just a bit, or we're going to guide it and place it high. Abduct that bent right leg. Level the pelvis. Hands heart-centered. Eventually we draw those arms up. Maybe they come together. Continue to root through the four corners of that standing leg. Come out of the tree the same way we got into the tree. Cleansing breath, inhale. Moving the block back. Again, working on hip mobility. Ankles, knees, and shins together. Arms shoulder width apart. On the exhale, we're going to lower wherever you pick those heels up, you'll stop. But if you can, you're going to come a little lower. Activating the pelvic hip floor muscles, awakening the muscles around the shins. Gently lower the glutes to the ground. Hands come back for Dandasana. Part of perseverance is sometimes to practice something twice. And we're going to work on Purvottanasana again because there's so many benefits. And we just don't do this pose enough in yoga. Incline plank, Purvottanasana. Walk those hands back about 6 inches. Bend those legs, draw the heels towards us, preparing for reverse tabletop. I want you to rotate those big toes in just slightly. On the exhale, we press into the ground. I want you to try to get the sacrum going in line with the knees, legs parallel to the ground. Press through those palms. Eventually, some of you may try to extend those legs, root under those arches, continue to press into the ground, broaden the collarbones, stretch the chest, stretch the front of the ankles and the legs. Persevere. Gently release. Beautiful. Come back to Dandasana. Root to the sitting bones, sit nice and tall. Gently bend the legs. Inhale, root and rise. Beautiful. Cleansing breath, inhale. Exhale. Coming towards the edges of the mat here. The flow continues. Inhale, draw those arms up. If we can, you can bring the palms together. Let's do a little bit of a arching of the back here, a little back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Framing the feet, step back into Phalakasana. We can stay in plank, we can lower to the knees, partial chaturanga. Or we can keep the elbows close to the side. We bring the sternum forward. This chaturanga, a little more advanced. Inhale, up dog. Press to the tops of the feet. Feet are hip width apart. Broaden the collarbones. Draw that pelvis forward. Active legs. Exhale, down dog. Lift that left leg to hip level. Rotate that pinky in. Draw the left knee to the nose. Place the left foot next to the left hand. Inhale, crescent moon. Back heel lifted. Come onto the pinky toe of the back leg. Front leg parallel to the ground. Beautiful crescent moon. Transitioning, hands come to the heart. We start to shift forward. As we prepare for Warrior 3, we're going to keep the hands close to the side. Rotate that big toe inward just a bit. Level the pelvis. balance and strength. Gently lower the back leg a few inches shorter than, so it's a few inches shorter than one leg length. Preparing for Parvottanasana, pyramid. Hips facing straight ahead. Draw those arms up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach forward. Hands to the ground, and we come up more to that midfoot here. We think about drawing the sternum and chest close to the shin. Level the pelvis. Beautiful Parvottanasana. Keeping the right hand down on the ground inside that left foot, and we come into a form of revolved triangle. Left arm comes to the ceiling. Stable back foot. Left hand on the hip, gaze at that big toe. Inhale, rise. Adjust that back leg, crescent moon. Beautiful. Let's go eagle arms. Left arm over the top, right arm underneath. And let's just connect eagle arms here. Beautiful. Elbows align with the shoulders. Front leg parallel to the ground. Draw the palms forward. Release the shoulders. Connect to the entire body right now. Observe the breath. Come into balance, a little bit of core and shoulder here. We lower the arms. They come inside the knee here. We just hover. We frame the foot. We step back into plank. Whatever the flow is, knee, chest, and chin, partial chaturanga or chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Draw that right leg up. Rotate that pinky inward. Draw the right knee to the chest, to the nose. Right foot next to the right hand. Inhale, beautiful crescent moon. Connect. Come onto the pinky toe of the back leg, front leg parallel to the ground. Beautiful crescent moon. Hands come heart-centered. Transition as we begin to come forward and explore warrior three. So we lift that back leg just to hip level. Airplane arms. Rotate that back hip inward. Connect. Toes pointed down of the back leg. Gently lower the back leg a few inches shorter than a full leg length. Heel to heel alignment. Beautiful. Make sure those hips are facing forward. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, we fold forward. Trying to get the fingers towards the ground and sternum and chest close to that right shin. Come more to that right midfoot. Left hand on the ground, come onto those fingertips. Draw that right arm up. Revolved triangle here. Right hand on the hip. Look at that big toe. Press that left arm up. Extend that left leg back a few inches. Crescent moon. Add eagle arms, right arm over the left, left arm underneath. Elbows in line with the shoulders, draw those palms forward. Connect to the front leg. Front leg is parallel to the ground. Connect to the back leg. The entire body in this pose. Persevere. Explore a little balance and core as we draw those arms on the inside. Hover, hover, hover. Frame the foot. Step back into plank. Whatever your flow is. Inhale, up dog. Press to the feet, pelvis forward, thighs off the ground. Broaden the collarbone. Exhale, down dog. Press through those palms, draw those heels close to the ground. Firm the thighs, we'll stay here several breaths. Gently lower to the knees. Beautiful. Kind of in a little tabletop here. We're going to adjust and prepare for some hip openers here. So here we are, kind of relaxed, knees are bent, and we're going to come into Gomukhasana, connecting to the hips and the shoulders. So I like to draw both legs up, cross the left over the right. This isn't easy for some people to get into. Often I shift forward and back. Some people may sit on a block or a blanket if they're struggling. They're going to do their best. That's an example. Okay? Some people may use a strap too to help you with the shoulders. So you might get that strap out here. But you have to believe yoga is the science of healthy living. And we are really opening the hips and the shoulders together. Maybe this is joining the body, the mind, and the spirit all as one. So get into this pose, breathe into these hips. Drawing now the right arm up. Rotating that right arm down the spine. If you want to use that strap like we started in our practice, you can. Take that left arm, draw it up the spine to clasp hands. This is where I take my head and I kind of press it into the upper arm, drawing length in my cervical vertebrae. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Gently release. Beautiful. Maybe take the block. I like to take the block in front of me as I add a forward fold here. So inhale. Exhale, come forward, and I'm still breathing into my hips, but I'm releasing my lower back, decompressing my spine here, staying here several breaths. Inhale, rise. And we're going to adjust for pigeon stretch here. So now I'm going to come forward and send that right leg back as I prepare in pigeon. Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. And this is where we want to square. Some of us might take a blanket or block and place it under that sitting bone. And draw the left hip back, right hip forward. Beautiful pigeon. Breathe into that both hips here. Let it go. Maybe we come forward a bit. I like to take my thumbs almost and rest it on in the center of my forward, my third eye, and just let go. Breathe into that left hip. Inhale, rise. Rotating that left hip a bit. So we're going to come up. And now we're going to rotate that left hip out. So it's like a frog pose. So, well, it's actually an internal rotation. But the knee is in line with that foot, and I'm pressing outer edge of that right leg. So it's an internal rotation. If you need to adjust your mats a bit, you can. There we go. I have pants on, so I'm okay on the ground. But if I practice with my shorts, I usually adjust my mat. So even here, we're opening the hips, but we're also opening the chest. We may come a little bit lower. Notice, though, my hips are in line with my knee. I'm rotating that left hip inward, but yet I'm pressing outer edge of the right foot. Beautiful. We'll stay here several breaths. Beautiful. Gently come out of this pose. I know this is a tough one. We're going to come back together. Let's keep our knees together on this child's pose. So our knees are together. Unless our knees bother us, we can make it a wide-legged child's pose, either one, but I'm keeping my knees together. I'm drawing my arms back. I'm tucking my chin in just slightly and truly letting go, inhaling, exhaling through the nose. Gently release, coming back, seated position here. Awesome. Let's draw both legs up and adjust now. Right foot over the left. We come forward and back. We try to regroup. Some of us are going to take the block, possibly under the sitting bones to help us, if that helps us. And we're going to connect, breathe into this release of the hips. Draw that left arm up. Send the left fingertips down the back. And rotate that right arm up the spine here. If we can, we clasp the fingers. And we almost draw the head to press against the upper arm. We connect. Our entire body is connected. Hips, shoulders, mind, body, breath. Gently release. Take the block out in front. And lower and rest the head onto the block. Inhale, rise. Preparing for Ekapada Raja Kapotasana, we're going to adjust that left leg behind. Maybe place a block or blanket under that sitting bone as we try to square those hips. Right hip back, left hip forward. I like to even kind of make sure that back foot is pressed into the ground. Breathe into the hips, release. However we want to stay in this posture, we can stay upright, we can come forward, we can rest a head on the block, we can take the thumbs to our third eye, but continue to draw the right hip back, left hip forward. Inhale and rise. Countering this pose with beautiful half frog, we're going to come out of this pose. And now we're going to take that right, I'm going to extend that left leg, but the right knee is in line with the right ankle as I'm pressing outer edge of the left foot. But notice my hips are in line with the knees, my right foot pointed facing this wall here, and I'm coming forward and kind of releasing, breathing into, this is a deep internal rotation. It doesn't seem like it, but it is. And the femur head is actually rotating internally of both legs here, especially this right leg. Maybe the exhale's longer than the inhale. We'll stay here several breaths. Beautiful. It's a little sticky coming out of that pose because it's a challenging pose. Coming back into Balasana, child's pose. I have my knees touching on this one. However you want to do wide-legged, that's okay. I'm sending my arms back, resting my forehead into the ground. Inhaling, exhaling through the nose. Gently come up The knees are about hip width apart. Let's start with tucking the toes onto the ground for this first part. We're going to draw those arms up, interlace the fingers, and I want us to draw the right elbow down, left arm up. Inhale, rise, preparing that kind of rigid upper part of the back, mid-thoracic. Lower the left arm, right arm up. Inhale, rise. Exhale, right elbow down, left arm up to the side, I should say. Inhale, rise. Left elbow down, right arm up. Inhale, rise. And as we press to the tops of the feet here, I want us to just simply open the chest, open the heart, tilt those elbows back and up. Inhale, rise. We're prepared as we explore our camel pose. Tucking the toes makes it easier. Plantar flexion makes it a little bit harder. And now we're going to take those hands and I want to press the tailbone down. So we're going to press through those feet and I want us to kind of think about drawing that upper back first, okay, as well. So we're pressing through those feet and drawing the spine back. Pressing the hips forward. Eventually taking the hands to the feet, only if we can. There's a few of us that can. Open the chest, open the heart. Stay here several breaths. Gently hands to the tailbone. Inhale and rise. So what I mean about leading with this as well is versus coming into it kind of improperly. So we want to create length and allow this kind of eccentric, the muscles lengthening as we take the upper back and come back in beautiful camel. We don't want to, and nothing's wrong with just staying here and not even getting the hands to touch the soles of the feet. Wherever we are, honor where we are. Pressing and creating length. So we press through those tailbone, create length, and we begin to open the chest, open the heart, and release just a bit. Just a bit. Some of us go back a little bit farther. Feel the hips come forward. Eventually hands towards the soles of the feet, wherever we are in this camel pose. Open the chest, open the heart. Observe the breath. Hands to the tailbone, create length, inhale, and rise. Beautiful work, guys, beautiful work. Create just a little bit of length here, neutralize the spine, arms up toward the ceiling, create length. Beautiful. Coming into Dandasana here, neutralizing the spine in a forward fold, rooting through the sitting bones, create length, trying not to slump, but sit up nice and tall. Some of you might utilize the strap to help you do that as you think about coming forward. Active legs, engage those quadriceps to release the hamstrings. Some of you may come one block forward, you're nice and flexible. Some of you may even come 2 blocks like me, right? Outer edges of the feet, rotate back. Beautiful Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Inhale, create length, reach the heart forward, 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches farther. Nestle down, we'll stay here quite a while. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, melt and release. Inhale and rise. Coming into a spinal twist here. We're going to lie on our backs. I like to extend my arms out to the side on this and draw my legs up. We're going to come into eagle legs here. So we're going to try to cross the right leg over the left and shift the legs now over the left. If we need to place a block underneath the knee, we can. But I want us to extend that right arm out, gaze over the right shoulder to the ground, and just really release here. Inhale, create length. Exhale, gaze over that shoulder. Gently release. We're going to adjust and work the other side. Cross the left leg over the right, so it's the eagle legs here. So I'm kind of hooking that bottom foot here. And now shift over to the right here, but extend that left arm out to the side. Trying to get the left shoulder blade to the ground, gazing over the left shoulder. Gently release. Come back center. Preparing for our Shavasana. Let's let everything go. Relax the arms, relax the legs. If you want to do one last stretch, reaching towards both walls, one last stretch, and then truly let everything go. Relax the palms, relax the feet. I kind of like to nestle my shoulder blades into the mat, and it becomes just a natural breath here. We've got the yard work people somewhere in the background here of the neighbors, but to me it's just symbolizing hard work and perseverance in life. Each day, one foot in front of the other. Trying your best, trying to be a good person. Truly letting everything go. Preparing to come out of Arshavasana, little movements in your fingers and toes. Gently bend the knees, right arm over the head. Use the left hand to press yourself up. Hands come heart-centered. Thank you for sharing in this practice today, which truly represented perseverance. A wonderful quality that we want to continue to nurture and cultivate and acknowledge in our life. Namaste. Have a great day, students.